So now I'm going to show you how to ink up your block, how to ink up properly on this glass surface. We have multiple surfaces to ink up. You'll see them around the studio. Some of them can move. You can come closer to your etching press. So the first thing you want to do before you even ink up and get the ink out is you want to get some simple green and clean the surface of the glass. There might be some residue from the previous person that printed. You get your shop towels. The first thing you want to do is clean the surface. Very first thing to do. And you might see some, you might not. Also, if you get an ink knife, you'll get it from over here on the wall. You have all these ink knives. Grab one, make sure it's clean. In case there's any ink on it, you don't want it to contaminate, especially if you're doing colors. You'll have your ink knife, clean the surface. You'll have your brayer that was assigned to you, that's only yours, so you don't share the same brayer with someone else. You'll get the ink that's located on the wall there. We'll be using, for the first project, using the Super Graphic Black from Speedball, Bill Fick. That's the one we're going to use. Of course, you have your block right here. You have it to the side. And just to keep your hands super clean, you can wear gloves because it is messy, right? When you take off the lid, you get ink everywhere. Get your ink knife. You're just gonna not dig, especially like if there's other inks that we use throughout the semester. The proper way to do it is to get the surface, not to gouge and scoop up the ink. It's just to skim the surface. Or you rotate the can as you go around. That's the proper way to get ink out of a can. Because the other ones, this one's water-based, so this one doesn't dry out as fast. The other ones will dry out, especially if you gouge it and you let the air go all the way into the can. The whole can will get hard. This one won't get hard. It's water-based. So you get some ink out. I kind of just like to have it on the side here. So I'll leave some right there. I'm done with this. Put it aside. I'm only going to have enough ink to go the size of my brayer. Okay? I don't just go in and just get this whole entire, glob of ink. I just have that as I need it. I'll get some more. I'll get a bead of ink, just like that. Right? I'm holding the ink knife this way, and I just go to the size of my brayer, just like that. See? Keep this right here. I'm not going to go into that. And then as I charge the brayer, this is called charging the brayer. I'm not going all across the table in all these directions, again, ink everywhere. I'm just keeping this little area. I'm just the size of the brayer this way, and then also the size of the brayer this way. That's it. This is the amount of ink coverage that you'll need, especially when you clean up. It's a lot easier to clean up when there's not ink everywhere. So you'll notice, it's a nice satiny, velvety texture on the slab here. Also on the brayer, a nice slab, nice texture, velvety. You can hear it too. You can hear the sizzling. If it's too thin, there's not enough ink. If there's too much ink, I'll show you what to do. If there's a ton of ink, it's just a glob of ink. You're inking up, and it looks like this. That's too much ink. You do not want this on your block. It'll fill in all of your detail, all of your lines. All that gets lost because there's too much ink on your brayer. Do not have this much ink. If that happens, you don't just thin it out this way. You take your ink knife, get the ink off, put it back over here. And then, because there's no ink here, you'll thin it out. Now it's thinner. You can extend a little bit if you need to thin it out more. But it's back to being proper on the brayer. See? Nice and even. So now, ink up your block. And what you want to do is you don't just want to do this. Because what you're doing is you're putting it down, you're picking it up. You're putting it down, you're picking it up. What you want to do is just kind of go up like that. When you get to the edge, just kind of lift off. You don't just want to like fall off the edge. And the first layer will take the longest to ink up because there hasn't been any ink on there whatsoever. So if you need more ink, just put it down here. Charge your brayer. Ink up. And then once this is fully inked up, then I'll show you how to set it on the press, get your paper, how to prepare your paper, because you're going to wet your paper, and then I'll show you how to print it. So this is how you properly ink up your block, okay? And I'll show you the next demo after this, once this is inked up.